Welcome to Pittsburgh.
Thank you.
I guess first question, during the summer, how much influence did you have and where you ended up, if any, and how high on the list was Pittsburgh of places you wanted to come?
No, I think I've been fairly open about discussions and process, and I came into this with a very open mind. I think that me and my career in San Jose, ever since he came in, has had a very open and honest dialogue about where things are at, and I didn't have a preferred destination per se. I didn't give them a short list of this is where I would like to go and this is only it. So once the ball kind of started to roll, once the Stanley Cup playoffs was over there, it came down to a lot of interest to only a few teams that were possibly going to be able to do it, and Pittsburgh was one of them. So yeah, like I was very excited about the opportunity to have a chance to go somewhere where I could be on a team that were contending, and once it was a lot of ups and downs, and it was really hard to kind of get a grasp on where things were actually at, because obviously I was not in most of the conversations behind the scenes. I got updates here and there, but I'm familiar with Pittsburgh from my days starting in Ottawa and so on, and kind of knew quite a bit about it without really knowing that much. So it was exciting when I heard that they were interested. I'm happy that it worked out at the end.
Hey, Erik, thanks for doing this. I'm wondering if you could detail a little bit about your approach to puck movement, what you do with the puck on the stick, especially on the power play, because you've put up some numbers that we haven't seen in a couple generations.
I mean, I started playing this sport because I love the game, and it's played with the puck, and I still like to do that. And I think that I found a joy in the game again this year for real, and I just love it. And I think that just comes where it comes from. I don't really know, or how you explain how you do certain things. Obviously, in my opinion, the team that controls the puck the most and has the puck the most is usually the team that is going to do the best, and it's something that I've always tried to be good at, and still trying to evolve. So I like playing with the puck, and that's how we started out playing the game, and that's how I'm hoping I get to play the game for the rest of my career.
Davey in the middle.
Here, Erik. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
The reports out of San Jose were that you had a strained relationship with Brent Burns. How do you try to avoid something, that kind of conflict with a guy like Chris Letang, who's also been a top defenseman for many years?
I don't think we had a strained relationship. We're actually pretty good friends personally. I just think that when you don't do well as a team collectively, things don't tend to work out, for anyone, and it didn't for a long time. And it's just unfortunate that it played out that way. So I don't foresee it to be any issues whatsoever. Coming in here where you have a lot of strong players that's been here for a long time and have had extreme success. I'm excited to be able to work alongside guys like that. And to learn things and to progress my game, and I hope that what I bring is going to help them out as well. And I think at the end of the day, we're all trying to do the same thing, which is to win hockey games and to win a cup. And if we all pull on the same rope, I don't think that no matter how it all plays out, it's going to be an issue.
Wes on your right.
Erik, hi, welcome to Pittsburgh. You mentioned that you were happy to be joining a group that you see as contending. Is winning the Stanley Cup at this point kind of your main priority, the thing that drives you the most, and why do you think that this group is set up to help you get there?
Yeah, it's always been the ultimate drive, I think, for myself. I like to play the important games, and I like to be on successful teams and having success collectively as a group. And obviously I played against Pittsburgh many a times and lost to them a few times when they went on to win the ultimate prize. And that's something that they know how to do here, and the players that they've had here for a long time are still really good players. And I'm really excited to step into that group and learn a lot of things, and also at the same time hopefully bring some new things and help them become even better, because I think that's what you have to do within a group is help each other out and push each other, and I feel like from the whole organization here and this team, that's something that they've been very good at for a very long time, and I feel like that's something that they still have in them, and I'm really excited to be a part of that.
Taylor.
Hi, Eric. Welcome
Hi.
to Pittsburgh. Can you just take us more behind the scenes of the weeks leading up to the trade? Who did you talk with from the Penguins, and what were those conversations like leading up to this?
It's been a lot. I think it's been a long summer for me and my family personally. It's been lots of ups and downs, and I had permission to talk to certain teams that were interested in making a trade happen, and obviously Pittsburgh was one of them. So I spoke to the management and the coaching staff and stuff like that about their vision and what they see as a fit and stuff like that. And then other than that, it's just been a lot of waiting around for me. So it was nice to talk to a lot of the guys once everything came together and the trade happened. Then a lot of the guys on the team reached out and had some brief conversations with certain guys and some guys that I know from the past and stuff like that. So it's been a nice welcoming from everyone, I think, and I also I'm going to come in here having some familiar faces that I've been around before, so that's going to be comfort as well.
Hi, Eric. Welcome to Pittsburgh.
Thank you.
I get the feeling that in the past day or two, you maybe had a little bit of a tour, got taken around a little bit, and I'm kind of curious what your impressions were, and if those were different from your visits to Pittsburgh as a visiting player.
Yeah, it's very different, but I think that over the course of the years, kind of come to understand that just because you go and visit a city as a visiting player doesn't mean that that's what the city's like. I've been to Pittsburgh many times, but haven't really ventured out anywhere past, downtown and the little market you have down there. I think I've been to one ball game way back in the day. And other than that, I didn't really know much. So it's nice to kind of see what it's actually like and going out to Cranberry and seeing the practice facility and the various areas around. And I think the thing that surprised me the most is how green it is here and how hilly it is, which I think is beautiful. So that was a pleasant surprise that I obviously did not know before. I've also had the chance to, in the past, play Oakmont a couple of times. So that's beautiful. So I know there's some good golf around here, which is nice. It's been a lot of pleasant surprises, I think, coming in here and seeing it from a different view and with a different perspective than just coming in and out, going to the visiting locker room and to the bus and the airport.
Josh on the right.
Eric, welcome to Pittsburgh.
Thank you.
You mentioned having some previous relationships. I'm just curious, who those particular players are that you have those previous relationships with, and maybe even going a little bit further, the Swedes in particular, Rickard Rakell, Marcus Pettersson, any existing relationship there?
The guy that just signed here too, that Andreas Johnson, he was in San Jose for a little bit last year. I played with his father back in Sweden, way back. He lives in Gothenburg, so I've always seen him around and know him a little bit. Raquel I've met a few times at some national team camps, and we have some mutual friends as well. Pettersson I don't know personally that much. He's a little bit younger than me and haven't really crossed paths with him. Nylander as well. I played with his dad a couple of times in national team. It was also a very long time ago. Makes me feel a little bit old, even though I'm not. And then Lars Eller, who just signed here too. I played juniors with him in Frölunda when we were younger. So obviously know him a little bit. Matt Nieto was in in San Jose last year, who's a great guy, and someone I hanged out with quite a bit on the road for dinners and stuff. And then just Sid Tanger and even Gino a little bit from various All-Star games and events around the league for a long time now. So it's going to be nice to not have to step into a locker room where you don't really know anyone. So I think that's going to be a little bit of a comfort, especially early on, just to get a grasp on how things really work.
Erik, you mentioned a little while ago finding joy in the game again in the last year. I'm sort of curious, why do you think you might have lost it, and what was the process in terms of getting it back?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the reason for a lot of things, but I think first off, I've been healthy for a longer period of time now. I think that really showed, and it made me feel a lot better about myself in a lot of different ways. I think that my personal life and my kids and my family is in a good place and kind of settled a little bit. And it's just been a lot of things throughout the years. I think that's been hard to deal with in a way. And at the time, you don't really think it affects you that much. But looking back, it's always not as easy to deal with certain things like injuries and some other stuff. And I just feel like I'm in a really good spot in my life right now. And I had a lot of fun, playing hockey last year and coming to the rink every day, even though it wasn't under the easiest of circumstances and we didn't win very many games. I think, credit to everybody who was in San Jose, from the coaching staff and my teammates there. Like we had fun together, and we made it fun coming in and putting in the work, and that was something that looking back probably was missing a little bit from the previous years.
Erik, in your experiences talking to Mike Sullivan, did you get the impression that he had conversations with his good friend David Quinn?
Yeah.
And how he may have used you in his lineup, and that there might be some synergy there?
Yeah, I mean, I've met Sully, throughout the years, but I didn't really make the connection between him and David Quinn until I first talked to him, because they sound pretty much the same and have the same dialect, and I could tell that they're both Boston guys. So I figured they were good pals. So obviously that's a nice thing too. I think I had a great relationship with Quinny, and I think he's a fantastic coach, and I think he did some really good things for us in San Jose, and I'm excited for where he wants to go there. So obviously that makes it a little bit more comforting in a way too, knowing that they kind of come from the same school, if you would like to say, or they feels like they're have similar backgrounds. So I'm excited about that part as well, and from everything I've heard about him from other players and people that have come to contact with him is only good things, and he's been here for a long time for a reason. So that only gives me good feelings about it. So I'm excited to see how it really works, because like I said, I've only played against him for so long, and it's you think a lot of things, but it's going to be nice to be on the inside of that group now.
I'm sorry, we do have one more.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry. You still have a question?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Hey, Erik, good to meet you.
thanks.
I'm just curious, when you look at a given defensive pairing and who you're skating next to, what kind of qualities or attributes do you value most in a defensive partner? In other words, what kind of a skater next to you do you feel like complements you the best and allows you to play your game?
Yeah, I mean, I've played with a lot of different guys now over the course of the years, but I just like playing with guys that want to reach their full potential, whatever that is. I want to do as well as I possibly can to help the team and be successful, and I would like that for everybody around me as well. So it seems like it's a really driven group here, so I'm excited for whoever you get to play the most with. I'm sure I'm gonna end up playing a little bit with everyone at some point, but I just like it when guys have that drive to always try and be as good as they possibly can in the things that they do well, and at the same time try and improve your all-around game. So from everything that I've heard and kind of figured out so far is that the group here is very very good with that and very driven in that regards, and I think that's for me the most important thing is to try and maximize every player's performance and skill set, no matter what that is, and it's gonna be fun to see where it all ends up and where you slot in.